All right, let's call this meeting to order then. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully this, I think, should be our final meeting where we will adopt the report after, we've had some back and forth here. I guess really quickly, if people are observing, if people could just introduce themselves for anybody who might be watching the streamed version of it. Mr. Ortiz, I guess you want to start?
Yes, I'm Patrick Ortiz from Cuddy and McCarthy in Santa Fe. I was appointed by the Chief Justice.
Thank you. And then Artie, I guess you introduce yourself too. I've got you on my screen.
Artie Pepin, I'm the Director of the Administrative Office of the Courts, and by statute, I am staffed to support the Commission.
Thank you. Ms. Martinez?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. I'm Carla Martinez. I'm the President of the State Bar, and by statute, a member of this committee.
Thank you. Ms. Maher?
I'm retired, and I was appointed by the Speaker of the House.
Thank you. And hardly need introductions here, but Chief Justice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Michael V. Hill from the Supreme Court, and thank you for letting me attend.
Thank you. And is Ms. Seligman here?
Yes, I'm here. Deborah Seligman, appointed by Pro Tem Papin.
Thank you. And Karen Upler, you want to, since you're on my screen, people maybe watching.
Sure. My name is Karen Epler. I'm with the AOC. I'm also support for the JCC.
Great. Thank you so much, everybody. All right. So the first thing we have on our agenda is to adopt the minutes of the last meeting, which was on August 26, 2021 at 10:30 a.m. At this point, these have been circulated. We've revised them. At this point, I would entertain a motion to adopt the minutes as revised.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All right, those in favor, everybody, I can see everybody except Ms. Seligman, so I'll just ask you for your vote afterwards, Ms. Seligman.
Sorry, I forgot to push that.
Okay, thank you. All right, we are now recording. Ms. Seligman, I'll ask for your vote by voice afterwards, but for those of you I can see who are commissioners, if you support the adoption of the minutes, if you would please hold your hand up clearly in front of your face. So I see 1, 2, 3 of you. Yes. And Ms. Seligman, how do you vote?
Well, I wasn't at the meeting, but I'll vote yes.
Okay. Thank you. So the minutes are adopted. Next, let me close those on my screen. And the next item of agenda is discussing the recommendations and edits to the reports, commission members, and Artie Pepin. So at this point, I guess, Mr. Pepin, I'll turn it over to you if you'd like to make comments on the changes to the report.
Mr. Chairman, the changes largely reflect what the minutes have, which are all those editorial changes, and then the addition of the provisions that talk about the Supreme Court's budget request, which is for a higher pay level than that recommended by the Commission. And so that discussion is in the last 2 paragraphs of page 5 and the last paragraph on page 6, largely. And that was discussed, and I believe what's in here is what the Commission wanted to say. Otherwise, the changes are all those that were discussed in some detail in the meeting that you just approved the minutes of from August 26th. So I would ask, Mr. Chairman, if the Commission members have any questions about those parts or anything else, because as often occurs, the 4th time you read something, you might find something you missed the first 3 times. So it's up to you, Mr. Chairman.
We've had some back and forth via email revising it, and I am now very comfortable with this report, and to me it looks good. I know Mr. Ortiz has made revisions. So as revised, I guess I would now entertain a motion. Oh yes, Mr. Pepin.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. We did get Karen got an email from Mr. Ortiz, I believe it was, with regard to page 3, the second bullet point. And his suggestion is that there should be a period after the word statute and a new sentence that begins with no. Am I correct about that, Mr. Ortiz? That was your statement, and that would be a change to this act. I believe that's a change to this version. I think I have the last version, although I know
I made that change, Artie.
you did make it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I do have that one open. I just wasn't looking at that one. So never mind. Ignore me on that, please, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Well, in addition to what you identified, Artie, the capitalized O should not be capitalized. It should just be capital N. And I think
Okay, so-
Karen made that change.
All right. So with that, Ms. Marr?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to draw, well, to make a suggestion. If you would look at page 6, the first paragraph, at the, let's see, the last sentence in the first paragraph, where it talks about to achieve the JCC's recommended minimum target of district court pay at $165,000, which requires justice pay be set to at least $182,842,000. I don't think the at least is appropriate in that regard, simply because if you recommended the minimum target at 165, it said it would require it to be set at least at. Oh, well, I guess that's right. So forget that one.
Okay.
I focused on the wrong paragraph. The right paragraph is the bottom paragraph, which simply refers in the second sentence. It says the minimum recommendation of the JCC would bring justice pay to $184,846. That number is incorrect. If you look at the chart above, it's 182, not 184.
Mm,
Mhm.
Mr.
right.
Chairman, may I?
Yes.
So we checked with Lynette, and Lynette is on the line right now. This is only for 25 pay periods. It's a difference in the pay periods.
Well, that may be, but the other problem is in the previous paragraph, you have a reference saying that in the sentence I would previously read, where it says to achieve the JCC's recommended minimum target of district court pay at 165, which requires justice pay be set to at least 182,846. I'm just saying, to be consistent, the references to the justice pay should be 182 instead of 184.
Yes, I see that now, Ms. Marr. Mr. Peppin.
I think Ms. Marr is correct. I don't think it's affected so much by the 25 or 26 pay periods, depending on how it gets implemented in fiscal year 23. It's the statutory mathematics that make the 182 figure the correct one, because if you take 95% of that, 95% of that, that's how you get the district court judges to 165.18.
So
I think
it should be the 182 is the correct number. You're saying 182,846.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And I think all Ms. Marr is saying, she wants consistency, which makes sense to me. So I guess that latter, we'll treat that as an amendment. So it would, that last reference in that last paragraph would be 182,846, and then it's consistent. Thank you, Ms. Marr. All right. Now with that change, and with Mr. Ortiz's change, Ms. Martinez.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. On that same page 6, the very first sentence on the first paragraph, is that intended to be bolded intentionally?
Traditional way for the legislature says, it doesn't look like it. That looks like an inadvertent bolding from carryover from right above it. So yes, if we could take out that bolding as well. Thank you, Ms. Martinez. All right, now with those changes, I would entertain a motion to adopt the report, including those changes.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All right, those in favor of adopting the report as revised with Ms. Mars, Ms. Martinez's and Mr. Ortiz's final changes there, if you would please hold up your hands visibly in front of your face.
And mine's in my.
I see 3, and vocally, do I also hear from Ms. Seligman? Yes, thank you. Great, so the report is adopted. We have now adopted our report for the year. Thank you, everybody, for your work on this year. Any final business for this commission?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Chief
I'd like
Justice.
to, on behalf of the court, thank the commission for all of its work on this and the careful study that you've given to this thing of judicial salaries. Your recommendation is very, very much appreciated by the court. I can assure you of that. We may be asking you, Mr. Chair, to see if you would support us in testimony, but I'll talk to you about that later on.
We have time for that one, but yes, I'm usually okay with that.
So, Ms. Marth, I was wondering if you're available to proofread Supreme Court opinions before we publish them. But seriously, thank you so much for all your hard work. It's very much appreciated.
Great, thank you. And Mr. Pepin, do you have your hand up? Is that?
I do.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that, so your report's not due till December 1st, but we will get this published and distributed to the LFC, the DFA, and all the members of the legislature electronically, and for those who requested in print forthwith, and it'll be posted on the NM Court's website under Judicial Compensation Commission reports. It's not the easiest thing in the world to find, but we're working them on the website, but it's there, and the 2021 report will be there in short order. And I know the Chief Justice will make sure I do that.
Good. Yeah, as a legislative staffer actually asked me about the status of this just today, in fact, right before this meeting. So I know there are people out there who are eagerly waiting to see it.
And I think Karen had her hand up.
Yes, Karen.
Mr. Chair, with your permission, I'd like to send these particular minutes out by electronic vote to approve them, and then we're finished for this year, as opposed to bringing them back next year when there may be new members.
That makes sense. Yes, I think we can just approve the minutes by vote. These are really short. This will be super short minutes by electronically by email. I think that should be fine.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. And thank you to Karen for all your work behind the scenes and all this as well. This has been
Thank you, Karen.
tremendously helpful. All right. Thank you, everybody. With no further business, I think our meeting is now adjourned. Good to see you all. Bye, everybody.